I am Banisha Sheikh, Research Scholar at Policy Advocacy Research Center. Today it seems that in each and every sector, people are using the fanciful word Atmanirbhar, which means attaining self-sufficiency. But have we really thought of India's current situation in edible oil production? Yes, I am talking of the oil that we use in our cooking, our food for every day. So let us look at the need for attaining the Atmanirbharta in oilseed production and why is it so important. As per the trade data from Director General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics, India's import of edible oil have increased from 67.3 lakh tons in 2008 and 9 to 150.2 lakh tons in 2018 and 19. If we convert this in terms of foreign exchange reserve, the import bill of India has increased from 15.9 thousand crore in 2008-9 to 69,000 crore in 2018 and 19. Thus, during the last decade, import bill of edible oil has increased by more than 250% in India, indicating a huge drain of foreign exchange reserve as well as adverse impact on the domestic growers. But why are we importing such huge quantity of edible oil in India? To understand this, we have to look at the domestic demand as well as production situation in India. If you look at the data for 2017 and 18, total domestic demand is around 25 million tons, but the domestic availability was just 10.38 million tons. Thus, we imported around 15 million tons of edible oil to meet the domestic demand. Thus, there is a huge gap between the demand for edible oil and supply of edible oil. In fact, studies show that demand for edible oil in India is increasing at a rate of 6% per annum. But unfortunately, the supply of edible oil in India is increasing merely at 2%. This raises a question of whether Indian farmers can contribute in making India Atmanirbhar in oilseed production. Can they contribute in reducing the import bill of edible oil in India? Yes, in fact, we too have a success story of Yellow Revolution where we have attained near self-sufficiency in edible oil production. This period was during 1986 where our late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi has initiated technology mission on oilseed, which significantly helped in increasing the oilseed production in India and changed the status of India from being a net importer of edible oil to net exporter of edible oil. But we were not able to maintain this status of net exporter in edible oil production after liberalization, where the reduction in the tariff rate as well as relaxation of various restrictions on import made the imported edible oil more cheaper compared to the domestic production. At the same time, increasing per capita income and population led to enhanced consumption of edible oils, which in turn led to increase in demand. So, to understand the current situation of oilseed sector in India, we conducted a study titled Making India Atmanirbhar in Oilseed Production. And here we approached various stakeholders involved in sector to come up with action-oriented as well as pragmatic solution to solve the problem in oilseed sector in India and to attain self-sufficiency in edible oil production. Some of the challenges that we found in our report was lack of productivity. India's yield in most of the oilseed crops are nearly half or one-third of the global standard, and this lack of productivity is due to non-adoption of globally competitive technology in the oilseed sector. Second, non-adoption of biotechnology traits and lack of investment in seed breeding program, as most of the genetics are 3 to 4 decades old. The capacity utilization of vegetable oil machineries remaining at just 30% to 40% in India due to shortage of raw materials and cheap import of refining oils. And the most important challenge is lack of linkage between the oilseed producers and oilseed extracting industries in India. So some of the solutions to tackle these challenges are creating an environment for public-private partnership at Indian Council of Agricultural Research to test globally competitive germplasm and allow joint breeding program to breed for high yielding biotic, abiotic tolerant oilseed crop varieties to meet Indian requirement. Procurement driven MSP regime to replace the rice wheat cropping system with maize mustard moon bean cropping system to increase the supply of edible oil, pulses and animal feed. To incentivize the farmers for the adoption of oilseed crop, there is a need for backward and forward linkage between the oilseed producer as well as the oilseed extracting industry in India, as well as regulating the import of both crude and refining oil is very important to solve the challenges as well as to attain the self-sufficiency in edible oil. Hence, the increasing dependency on import of edible oil of a country where around 60% of the population are involved in agriculture is distressing. Thus, efforts must be made to increase the production of oilseed in our India, which in turn will also help to increase the employment opportunity in both rural and urban area via its linkage with domestic refinery industries, and this in turn will also help to shaping the growth trajectory of agriculture economy as a whole. Thank you.